Black people are not a monolith. Our oppression may be a monolith, but us as a whole, we are not the same. We do not all have the same experiences and exposure in life, and we are not a monolith. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Janae, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the controversy surrounding the Ralph Lauren Oak Bluff collection. So let's get into it.
Black elitism got to get the fuck the same way white supremacy does. I don't give a fuck how you present it to me. I don't care. James Jeter just dropped his second collection with Polo Ralph Lauren. The first one, Morehouse and Spelman, HBCUs were the craze. Totally get it. That was a layup. I understand. Now we're in, the second collection is based off of Oak Bluff. The only section in Martha's Vineyard where black people could gather and do their thing. Cool. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I do not want a black all-American story when it comes to Polo Ralph Lauren, because that is not how we and people who look like me have engaged with Polo Ralph Lauren. It's never been about some elite bourgeoisie shit. We stole that shit. Like the things that you are creating, the things that you are trying to create, the things that, oh, like this is black excellence or black elite or whatever, we stole that shit. That is not how we engage with Polo Ralph Lauren. And for you, and while I feel like you are overly qualified to sit at the seat as creative director, you must tell these people, if you are going to leverage my blackness to help your company, we have to do it how black people have done it. At some point, you got to recognize the lowlifes. At some point, you got to recognize these other groups of people who look like us, how we were. It was a rebel for us to wear these things. It was a rebellion to the American dream, to the all-American standard. We stole that shit. And for us who are using our dollar to buy polo, at best we talking about a Macy's Dillard level, and for most of us, it's a Marshalls and Ross level. You have to, if you are going to sit at the creative director seat, you got to understand, like, the access is at that Macy's Dillard level and down. We gonna steal that shit up there. That $600 jacket, the booster's back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this like to promote, you know what I'm saying, nefarious behavior and shenanigans. I'm saying it because that's how we engage with this shit. We did not engage with this shit on some like, oh, like, we don't give a fuck. Like, none of that shit is what we give a fuck about. And it's kind of disingenuous that you're trying to pass it on. Like,
Oak Bluffs is home.
I was gonna say that.
Sorry.
Black people were able to be here, be free, build a community, and that legacy has lived on.
My aunt, she's 90 years old and lives on the island full time. And she was doing her morning walk and she looked over and MLK just did one of those quick hellos.
Being here, it allowed me, like I said, to unburden myself and to be relaxed.
The fact that I get to do that same walk, my friends live on that same street, it's just so cool.
We all still convene here every August, and we're 30 years old now, right? And we've been doing it since we were 2, some of us.
There's joy and grandparents that are relaxing and multi-generational experiences that warm our hearts and make it hard for everybody to go home when they have to.
Complete this sentence and include the whole sentence. Oak Bluffs is.
I would say simply that Oak Bluffs is special. It's important.
So the Ralph Lauren Oak Bluff collection has sparked a lot of controversy online, and not because of the fashion, but because of what it means to be black in America, what it means to be black excellence, elite, classism, and all of those things, the isms, right? And so a lot of people have mixed opinions in regards to this chef's kiss beautiful collection. So basically, Ralph Lauren's current campaign, Oak Bluff, highlights the black American family, the black elite, vacationing in Martha's Vineyard, which is a historical vacation spot for black affluent families here in America.
How would each of you describe Martha's Vineyard to people who have never been there? I mean, is it only a playground for the black elite?
No.
What is it? What's so special about it?
Well, the history is special in that the community was started by the service class, the maids, the cooks, the chauffeurs. They were the people, African Americans, who originally bought land.
Yeah, they were there working for rich white people.
That's correct. What was different about the vineyard in this sense is there were no structured racism about buying property. So people could buy land as early as the late 1800s. Mm-hmm. Now, when you get the land, institutions start. So, for example, the cottagers, 100 African American women, major organization on the Vineyard. Apart from social criteria, you must own property.
Well, your family's been vacationing there for 40 years. How did you come to the Vineyard?
Well, we were fortunate to have friends, and it was just exhilarating. You could go anywhere you wanted to go. At that time, doors were open. Nobody ever locked their doors. Martha's Vineyard is paradise on earth for everybody, and particularly for the African American community.
I don't want to minimize the in-crowd aspect of the Vineyard, but I believe back in the 50s, Adam Clayton Powell, who was one of the best-known African Americans at the time,
right?
And he used to go hang out on the Vineyard, and it became the place to be.
Look, to be sure, the full stratum of African American demographics are on the Vineyard. You've got people who live all over the island, who are as wealthy as anybody else is there, and then you have people whose families have their houses. I believe there's at least 600, maybe 700 cottages or homes owned by African Americans. That's all over the island. And it's going to be very hard to displace that over time.
A lot of people are praising this beautiful campaign. I think it's absolutely stunning. I think that this is a great way of marketing and highlighting Black people. Not that we have to always see Black people in a light of, when it comes to money, they're either an entertainer or an athlete. Black people can be in a certain class based off of their education, doctors, lawyers, whatever, high level educated people enjoying a nice vacation, right? I don't think that Black people should be painted as a monolith in the sense of like we're all the same. No, honey, we're not all the same. Black people are not all a monolith. That's the problem. Like, we're not a monolith. The oppression is monolithic, babes. But us all being the same, having the same background, the same education level, the same experience in life in regards to what we are exposed to, no, it's not all the same in the sense of that. And so I thought, no dig to the person who originally started this topic trending, because he did come out, y'all saw the clip at the beginning of the video, say that he feels like, you know, that the polo style itself, Black people stole. I don't know if he meant, a lot of people thought he meant like Black people stole Ralph Lauren, but I think maybe I interpret it as the style itself or the brand and taking it as our own, which we do take a lot of things and create it into our own. But that was not the purpose of this collection, babes. The purpose of this collection was to highlight Black elitism, which I think is very aspirational. I have dreams of one day going to Martha Vineyards, right, and enjoying a vacation there. And y'all got to see clips of the history regarding this. And so I do think it's very ignorant of this content creator to say that we stole from Ralph Lauren or we're all monolithic and this does not do a good representation of our culture.
I'm gonna just go ahead and post this video for we are not a monolith ass niggas. First of all, shut the fuck up. Just because you watch anime, just because you like art, it doesn't make you any fucking different. We are all oppressed by the same people. We are all oppressed by the same system. Therefore, I know when I go to sleep, you're worried about the same shit I'm worried about. When I wake up, you're worried about the same shit that I'm worried about. You may cope with it different, you may maneuver it differently, but we all have to figure it the fuck out. And in this country, we are all looked at as a body, a battery, and labor. That makes us a monolith. Everything you do in between, shut the fuck up about it.
Or in a sense of along those lines, like, this is not Black America. Babes, all the Black gangster shows like Snowfall, The Chi, not everyone's on the struggle bus. Not everyone's on the poverty bus in America when they're Black. You know, that's not everyone's story. A lot of us are well college educated, high level of education. There's been a lot of conversation of Jack and Jill. If y'all don't know what Jack and Jill is, it is a organization for young boys and young girls who come from Black affluent families who are usually a part of the Divine Nine, went to an HBCU like Spelman or Morehouse or Howard or something along those lines. Not all of us come from a background of struggle. And that's what people need to realize. So I think this is an excellent idea to portray Black people in this light because it shows another side to us. It shows America. It shows not even just America, just shows people who've never seen a Black person before, but only on television, right? Like, this is another side to Black America that you don't see. Not all of us are living on government assistance or, whatever the case may be. No one's stealing. I don't know anybody who stole Ralph Lauren. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, he was like, he grew up something along the lines like we stole Black Ralph Lauren. I don't know anybody who did that, babes. I'm sorry that's your story, but I don't know anyone who did that. And I just feel like it's a beautiful collection. I think that it is something that if you can afford it, to support it. They did get a new, I don't know what you call it in the fashion industry, but they got a new lead designer who is a Morehouse man, who's been hightailing these different campaigns and different launches for Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren is more than just a polo. Obviously, it's more than just going to the Macy's or the JCPenney's or the Dillard's and getting the polo. They have different, I guess, I'm not a fashion girly in the sense of like I keep up with the labels, but they have like Purple Label and other things like that under its belt where it's more of a higher class, higher quality, more geared to their clientele, I guess, labels, which a lot of the fashion houses have things like that, right? They have they have lines that are more affordable in their collection, and they have one for more high class that costs a few $1,000s. That's more geared towards who are higher people who have like that income to be able to spend on it.
Like clockwork, a certain type of Black person from a certain type of Black community is complaining about the Oak Bluffs collection from Ralph Lauren. This is where cultural differences come into play. Black folks who are raised in higher income, higher educated communities have engaged with Ralph Lauren differently than those who engaged in it in low income, low educated communities. There's a clear difference there. You can see that when it comes down to how people even wear it and how expansive they even know that the brand is. It's not just polo. Ralph Lauren has many brands under it, obviously from Purple Label and beyond. So that's something that I'm seeing, and now people are saying that it's classist or elitist or showing a story that doesn't resonate with them. Just because a story doesn't resonate with you doesn't mean it shouldn't be told, because it resonates with someone. And the way that the Oak Bluffs story is told, it resonates with the most people who engage with the brand.
And I get that there are some people on the internet that are arguing that this campaign or the Oak Bluffs campaign is basically highlighting, a very curated version of like Black people who are high class, trying to fit into white norms or into white spaces. But I don't think it's that. It's just showing another side of Black people, that there are all types of Black people. And we often always say that Black people are not a monolith, because we are not a monolith. Literally, a monolith is a stone, but figuratively speaking, a monolith is something that does not change. It's all one and the same, and that's just not the case here, babes. Like, it's just not the case here. And so, I think it's aspirational to see something like this. I think it's lovely. I think it's actually a breath of fresh air to see something like this, to see such beautiful, like, curated details in this campaign, with the way that the Black people are styled in the clothes, with it being at a very historical Black vacational spot, and just highlighting and telling the story of some people who are other people, how they live in America who are Black. I think it's lovely. I think it's a breath of fresh air. So many times we see the housewives drama, we see the basketball wives drama, we see the Shy, Snowfall, Power, and we see like we're only thinking that a lot of people believe like if you can be Black and successful in America, you have to put a ball in your hand, or you gotta get on stage and tell a joke or be in a movie, when it's not like that. There are so many different types of Black people out here in this world. Me, for an example, I'm an attorney, and I have a high level of education. I have a husband. I have a baby. Like, life is beautiful. You know, not to like put myself into the mix as far as an example, but like I know the negative stereotypes of what it is to be a black woman in America. Single, baby mama, living off government assistance, you know, and the narrative that you're lazy. That's not the case for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just an example of I'm not a monolith, or in a sense of like I don't fit the negative stereotypes. And I think you have this person who made the original video talking about this. You have a very negative mindset in regards when it comes to Black America or Black Americans. And I think this is just a breath of fresh air. I think this is lovely. Let me know what you guys think on this. I can kind of go on and on, but I just wanted to hit on this and just like let y'all see, like, if you don't also know, like, this new collection, because Black people have always worn polo or Ralph Lauren, right? You know, I know growing up in junior high and high school, a lot of the boys like to wear the polos and stuff like that. So Ralph Lauren is a part of the culture in some ways, and they're doing a really good job of executing this campaign. They're doing a really good job of hiring this lead designer, because he's been doing an excellent job for what I've seen, this highlighting HBCUs and stuff like that into his campaign and shining a positive light on Black Americans or on Black people in general. My name is Brittany Janae. That's all I have for this topic. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.